My workbench is in use. Well, just for storage right now. Oak and walnut and maple and cherry. I got a friend who's moving long distance and cleared out his shop. But we got to work on the chop. So I've got 3 nice offcuts from the legs, I think. And I got a piece of walnut. Well, for off the sawmill, it's got a pretty flat face. Let's see if we can get a straight edge on it. Well, should be dry. Put a center line on it, and I've measured over 2.5 inches so I can get a 5-inch wide blank out of this, cutting the same amount off of each side. And we've got our chop blank cut almost 28 inches long, and it's 1 5/8 inches thick. And I want a little bit more thickness to it. And a friend gave me this, and it doesn't show up on camera, but when it's finished, it's got some gorgeous flame in it. So we're just going to laminate that right onto the top of it. And that will be the outside of the chop. And this is the side I want to laminate it to. No, this side is one up. After a bunch of work, I think that's going to be a nice blank for a chop. And it is right now 27 15/16 by 4 7/8, and it is 2.5 inches thick. So it should be nice and rigid. We've got our chop roughed out, and we've got the bench top cleared off enough that we might be able to clear the rest off now and get back to work at it. So down here on the leg, I suppose the nut part of it There's 4 different ways I can put this in. I can surface mount it. I can embed it that far. I can embed it that far, or I can embed it that far. Now it's got a taper on it, so that would be the most difficult, and that would be the easiest. So I guess the litmus test is, how much travel do we have? So if I just put that on enough so it's fully threaded, and bring my chop, I've got 9 1/4. I think if I get a 9-inch board, that's going to be plenty. Everything else after that can go on the top of the bench to be planed or worked on. I think 9 inches is going to be the easiest. So, although the chamfer for the screws is on this side, so is that going to be the best? Oh, decisions. I'm going to put it up near the top somewhere too, so I don't have to bend over so far to operate the vise. That taper and this fillet makes it a little bit more difficult. That would be the most elegant, but I think that may do it. And I'm thinking about 3 inches down or so. 3 inches to the center. Is that correct? And that'll give me a depth of 7. This is square, it should match right up. Yeah, it looks like it matches right up. And 2.5 inches in, which is half of 5. And 2.5 inches in. Make sure I'm off the same face. This is the back. That's where I need the big hole. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this drill press will not be able to do this. But maybe it'll get me far enough to get me started straight. Torque monster. Let's try to slow that down a bit. it's hard to tell if that was an exercise in frustration or futility. But it's in there. Now we got to drill the rest of the way through with just enough clearance for the threaded rod. And I'll just start it on this side and finish it through from the other side. Having to get creative here. Seeing as my quill only travels so far. Check on the fit, and it seems to be working okay. So instead of doing any of that silly measuring nonsense, I'm taking my chop, the leg that I've got the hole drilled into, and I got my depth line, the center line for my hole, and if I just put that just a hair's breadth above the leg, and it can be matched up with the tabletop later, because we know this top here is the top of the table. So we got about less than a 1/16, and I'll take the line that I had before, mark that, and we already have our center line that we put on before. So, we take that line, and there's the chop and the leg done together. If I put that get that lined up. Tighten it down. I think a diamond shape looks nice. Transfer punch. Actually a self-centering punch. Flip the whole works over. I got big honking number 12 screws. A 7/64 pilot hole. Now on the other front leg, I'm going to drill a 3/4 inch hole. This one's 3/16 inch higher because of the different diameter, because this is a 3/4 inch hole. The other was 1 1/8 inches. So the difference in the radius is 3/16, I believe. It's starting to look like a workbench. I've still got some work to do on the blank here. And it might be a little touch stiff from touching the wood. I've got to put my anti-racking device in. I've got to put another hole for a hold fast, and it'll probably come down here somewhere. I get a block of wood, put it on there. Level. We're right on. So that will hold the piece there, while the vise holds a piece here. I don't have any anti-racking device in there yet, but that'll be next.